Right. Game 2.
Alright. It's a pretty one-sided affair there in Game 1. As we see both players shuffling up their decks. I know Bryan would like to see a much better start for him. He only had the 2 lands there, which included a Moorland Haunt, which was completely... It was pretty irrelevant. It was only tapped for colorless mana at that point, not even able to use it to make a token without the white mana. But, I know for Paul, he's hoping to see more of the same that he saw in Game 1.
Yeah, I think he's probably feeling pretty confident right now, but one thing I know about Delver decks is they are very versatile.
Oh yeah, definitely. Alright, assuming Bryan's going to be on the play in this one. Turn 1 Ponder, pretty good for Delver. If you're not playing a Delver, you want to be pondering. At least on turn 1. Deciding whether or not he wants to keep those cards on top of his deck. Looks like he does. Draws for the Ponder. Oh, there he goes. Looks like he was an island there. Passes the turn. Paul plays land, passes. Bryan, draw. There's a second Seachrome Coast for Bryan. And just says go.
Alright. Either Intangible Virtue. Oh. Alright,
Intangible Virtue for Paul. Third land, tapping all 3. It's like Snapcaster into the Ponder. Saying wants to keep those ones on top as well. Looks like he does. Kind of looking at things over again. Yeah, he just keeps them on top and draws for the Ponder. Says go ahead.
So it looked like he drew Mana Leak there. So...
Isolated Chapel for Paul. Looks like he just said go.
They're both right where they need to be mana-wise, I think.
Yeah, no one's really missing any mana drops here so far.
And they both have the colors they need too.
That's true. Attacking for 2 from Snapcaster sends Paul to 18. Bryan with yet another Ponder. He's definitely getting to size up the top of his deck so far. He's basically been able to decide everything he's wanted to draw. You think Ponder's going to be reprinted in M13?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I think it's really good. I think without Ponder, Delver is way less effective. So maybe maybe the cycling out of Ponder just makes this deck just less. Well,
we have to keep in mind well, as we see a Mana Leak on the Midnight Hunting, we have to keep in mind that if it didn't get reprinted, it wouldn't rotate until Return.
I know, but there'd still be a while where this deck
would.
I'd be interested to see how it holds up. They may reprint a preordained Ponders type card.
It's possible.
But I don't know. I'd be interested to see how this deck will hold up, at least the Delver deck holds up without Ponder. I mean, it's pretty key in flipping Delver. And gaining card advantage.
We see a second Intangible Virtue from Paul. It looks like he just says go. Unfortunately, those Intangible Virtues are not good without creature tokens. They pretty much just sit there. 2 more from Bryan, sending Paul down to 16. Or is that 14? I'm not sure.
That's 6 damage off the Snapcaster, I believe.
But he played on turn 3, so it's 4 damage so far off the Snapcaster.
Okay.
This is the 5th turn as he plays Restoration Angel, blinking in the Snapcaster Mage to play yet another Ponder. And there is another Ponder on top. Cards for days. Looks like I saw a Ponder and then the Dismember promo, as well as the Plains. Looks like an end of turn Doomblade on the Restoration Angel. Paul. Paul with his 5th land, so he's got Not really sure if his deck runs anything with double black. I think it's just the black is really just for the Doom cards like Doomblade, Sorin, and Lingering Souls. That's the way that most of the black-white tokens work.
In the vault as well. Right?
Oh, in the vault as well, thank you. Attacking for 2 more, sending Paul down to 14. Looks like Bryan's content to just pass the turn. Alright. Not much action on the board so far, but sometimes the Delver just likes to hold cards in the hand until they can really get an advantage going. We see a 3rd Intangible Virtue from Paul, meaning any tokens he can land are going to be pretty big. Bryan sizing up his mana here. Alright. No other plays from Paul.
Delver for 2.
Swing for 2 with Snapcaster. That Snapcaster's doing...
Snapcaster. Excuse me, did I say Delver?
I think you did. That's okay. Snapcaster's really doing a lot of work here this game. Yet another ponder from Bryan. I feel like he's been pondering almost every turn so far. Probably has. Alright, draws for the ponder. I think I see a Geist in his hand as well. And there it is. Geist of St. Traft. Alright, passes the turn to Paul. Paul looks like he might be weighing his options here, see what he can actually do. Plays a Doom Traveler. It's not good right now, but the token he can get from it would be pretty big. Oh, Oblivion Ring. Looks like he's going to go after the Snapcaster. Now, Bryan stops for a moment in response, I guess. Oh, Vapor Snags his own Snapcaster. He does take the 1, but he eliminates any targets from his side of the board from the Oblivion Ring. So Paul looks like he's in a pretty bad situation here. Tries to take a land. It's a non-land permanent, I'm afraid, Paul. I know he got plenty of land.
Strike 2.
Let's try to take the... nope, decides when one of the intangible virtues goes under the Oblivion Ring. Vapor Snag. Another Vapor Snag from Bryan, getting rid of that pesky Doom Traveler. And swings for 6. Sending Paul down to 5. Drops a Consecrated Sphinx. So Bryan gets to draw the 2 for the 1 that Paul gets to.
Wonderful late game card for any
control type.
Yeah,
deck.
any control type deck.
I haven't seen a whole lot of Consecrated Sphinx lately, but pretty good in this situation, that's for sure. Paul looking at the card in his hand, deciding what he's going to do. Looks like, oh, another Oblivion Ring. And he's going to probably, yep, there goes the Sphinx. And then just passes the turn to Bryan. Dungeon Geists keeping that Doom Traveler out of the way, as that's lethal. And now we're going on to game 3.